Hello, search here for the backyard driving range. I have a question, came into customer service from Rusty McDougal, and Rusty says, "Hi Serge, I just watched your video on sweet spots, where many players are hitting shots too far on the toe of the club. I have the opposite problem, in that shots get hit toward the heel and club shaft, and the result is wasted strokes and sometimes embarrassment." Sounds like you might be even getting some hosel rockets there then. I habitually use the face tape when practicing to see where the strikes are, cavity back clubs that he uses. Even when I set up to swing completely inside the ball, I still typically hit the ball on the heel of the club. Can't hit the ball on the toe of the club even when I try. Now naturally we don't want to hit the ball way out on the toe, we want to hit towards the sweet spot, although many cavity back clubs has the sweet spot a little bit out from the center of the club more towards the toe, because most golfers swing outside in, so they can move the weight around and get it a little bit more forward. All right, so that means that in the case of where you said you have cavity back clubs, that means the farther you get inside the center of the club, you're missing the sweet spot even more if it's one that's out a little bit towards the toe, and therefore the more you miss the sweet spot, the less solid the hit, and you're going to lose club head, you're going to lose distance because you're not getting the effect of a more solid hit hitting the sweet spot. Many of your videos state the importance of the athletic stance and not getting set up and not setting up from the heels of the feet. I was rocking forward when swinging and hitting near the hosel before getting off the heels. Fixing this has helped a lot, but not completely solved the problem. Something else is going on and further understanding is required. Tired of trying to compensate for whatever the swing glitch is. Thanks again, Rusty McDougal. Okay, I think one of the biggest issues here could be that I'm not going to get in and talk about alignment. That could be a big issue. Overswinging, overturning could be a big issue. Let's just say you might even be making have a good peak performance setup and making a pretty good limited turn and getting the club somewhat vertical. Here's where you could be getting in trouble, because you said that you still tend to keep hitting the ball. Even when you swing from the inside, you're still hitting very, very close to the heel. One of the biggest issues that happens is the concept of what is the back arm supposed to be doing in the golf swing, especially in the backswing. Many years, most of us were told that we're supposed to hit a golf ball by keeping the right arm, if you're a right-hander, left arm for a lefty, or shall we say our back arm close to the side. Even to the point where golfers would take a golf glove, stick it under their armpit or their side over here, and they practice swinging a golf club and keeping that club down there in the backswing, okay? See what happened? I hit the hat. Why? Because if you keep your arms close to your body and keep that arm tight to the side here, people have always said, well, the problem with that is I can't keep my left arm straight, my forward arm straight. And the whole key is to keep your forward arm straight, right? Rocking the string, so the forward arm's supposed to be pretty straight. And swinging a rocket in the string, the centrifugal force pull of the rock as you swing it in a circle pulls away from the center. So if I stand here and I keep this arm tucked in here, you notice that if I swing to there, this arm can't straighten up, you see? The only way this arm can actually stay straight is when I swing the club back. I have to go like that, and look at that, the club fell down. My. People have swung towels like that. They've made training aids that you lock your arms in and everything else. And I still see a lot of golfers today, even out on tour, practice with one or a club under a golf glove under each arm. You have to let it fall away. But now, years ago, this was a tucking. They considered this a tucking elbow, and this was a flying elbow. All right, but today, this is still a flying elbow. But what they like you to do now is to get your arm like that at the top of the swing. Look what it just did to the shaft of the club. It took a vertical club. See, I got a triangle here. If we draw a line from my elbows up to my hands, I have basically an equilateral triangle, and my elbows are relatively horizontal to the ground. Now, when I take this back arm and I make my triangle and I narrow the base of my triangle by putting this perpendicular to the ground, where did the club just go? It got laid off. The club is now laid off and heavy, and it now means that in many cases when you do that, it's also going to pull your arms down lower and your hands lower, and the club gets laid off. And so now, if you're trying to hit a golf ball from that position, and you've come up here and you get your arms in this position, as you come back, they want you to do this. Now from there, as you keep coming in and you take that right elbow, and even if you were this way and you jam the right elbow into the right hip too much, See, the club is going way down too flat coming from the inside, and you'll be approaching from the inside every time. And so when you get to that point of approaching from the inside, because you either got flat up here to begin with, or if you were vertical and you tuck that elbow in too much on the way down and jam it in here and turn out of the way, you see where you're coming? You're coming way from the inside, swinging out. And coming in from the inside, jamming it in that much, and your right side's moving in this way, it's pushing your arms in towards the ball, which could give you inside hits into the heel, and if you put the hosel onto it, you get what I call those hosel rockets, which ball just goes off to the right, the big bad S word, all right, which we don't even want to say. So I think the big issue is where is your club at the top of the backswing, and meaning, is it vertical or is it already laid off? But if it is vertical and then you're overlaying it off, now just a good transition, the club is going to want to get laid off a little bit, but I'm doing everything I can, especially with my right hand and my right arm, to try to make that layoff as little as I can. But if we let it fall way back in here like this, and you're coming in like that, you're in trouble, so you'd have to somehow flip it to try to get it online. So the whole thing is, when you go into catcher's mitten up the tree, we want to stay up the tree, not go halfway up and hit a branch and go down it. Or if we do stay all the way at the tree, we don't want to let the club drop real heavy laid off, and come in here and just jam the right hip in there, elbow into the hip, because you're going to come way inside and flat too much, which means you're going to have to, if you stay in that position going through, you will be hitting it way back near the heel, if not into the hosel, and you'll be swinging way out. So we got to come down just the right amount so it lays off a little bit, but then we rotate into the body and square the club up. So check yourself at the top and check your transition and try to keep the club vertical. In my mind, and I'll close with this thought for today, when I swing a golf club, I feel like I take the club straight back, straight up, straight down, straight up. In my mind, I'm feeling like I'm swinging the club just like this, 90 degrees, straight up and down. I know it isn't, but I know when I transition, I'm trying to do everything I can to keep that club as close to vertical as I can. And this lower hand, my right hand, is the one that's doing that. And the whole world's told you, don't use your right hand. Don't lose your lower hand on the golf club. It's really important. First off, in my case, being right-handed, I'm stronger in that hand. I got more touch, more sensitivity, more control, more everything, and I'm trying to keep that club as vertical as I can keep it, because the more vertical I stay, the more I'm up and down in gravity, faster the club's going to swing, the more consistent my release is going to be. So I'm straight in the mitten up the tree, straight back down the impact, and straight in the forward mitten up the tree, and swinging on a maximum vertical incline plane for my posture, and that's how you hit it more solid and straight. So check out your angles at the top of the backswing, the transition, and what you're doing with your trailing elbow, right elbow for a right-hander. Okay, that's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.